Okay, good morning. Let's have a class, and this will be our second lab. We will make our own glass slides and use simple stain to do the observation of the bacteria. Because there's two different bacteria here, which is E. coli and the lactobacillus, and the corresponding material in the fact sheets you will find is chapter 3. The preparation of the smears and the simple stain technology. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so again, I'll give about like 20 minutes opening remarks, and then you go ahead to do it. And the Rion will help you, and I'm also going to show you how to do it. Okay. So this is going to be lab 2. We'll talk about is a simple stain. So this moves to the staining technology. So first of all, it's very simple mechanism behind. Let's say we have a bacteria growing in the media. Okay, the bacteria is going to grow in media, and there could be a bloss, it could be a slants, and could be an agar. And we'll get to that later on. The bacteria, most of the time, it is negatively charged. So let's say you grow 35 degrees Celsius, 24 hours in a bloss, it is negatively charged. And then we have a different type of the chemicals, which we call it a dye. So for example, you have this very purple one, called crystal violet, and you have a very red one, not really very red, a little bit pink red. It's called saffronin, and those are the dye. Okay, so you have a dye. For example, crystal violet and saffronin, and those dye is positively charged. So, if it's negatively and positively charged, they could be combined together. That's a very basic physics knowledge. And then the bacteria sample can be stained, and use microscope, we could do the observation. So that is a very simple concept behind it. Now, use the simple stain, what we can see. We could see number one, is the cell shape. So we call it some morphology. Now, what are the bacteria cell we could see? It could be like a circle, like this. We call it a coxal. The bacteria could be like a very short line, like this. So we call it a rods. And the bacteria, they also could be like this, curved, okay? So we can say it's a vibro. There's just some examples. Now, once you have a bunch of the bacteria, they stack together, we will get to see is arrangement, which means how they arrange together. So that could be just a very single one. That's called a single. And that could be two coxals stacked together. We will mention in the classroom all the time. It's called a diprocoxal. And that could be four of them stacked together. We call it a tetrad. So just give you some of the examples. These two things, we could use simple stain to do the observation. What we are missing is the gram results. Gram positive or gram negative, that's what we will do next week. Because simple stain certainly practice the procedure how you make a bacteria smear on the slide. So that's why we have to do it first. Okay, now the third one, the smear preparation. It's pretty simple. But still something we have to be pay attention to it. First step is you're gonna get a glass slides. Okay, a glass slides like this. You may have in your tray, you have a box, you have it, or you want to get a new one, you can get a new one. It's like this, a glass slide. Usually you can clean it, but if it's already cleaned, then that's good. We will draw is a 2 circle. Because we're going to do 2 bacteria. The bacteria what we're going to do today is E. coli. So you label EC on one side, and you will label Lactobacillus ferrum. So Lactobacillus, just label LF. Okay, that's the first one. Secondly, so I'll say label. It's called a flip over. And this glass slide has to be flipped over because the dye or the Sharpie marker, when you used, it could be damaged the lens of the microscope. So make sure it's flipped over. Okay, when you flip it over, what are we going to do? So let's draw here. Okay, we just draw this one. You flip it over to 2 circle. So will be become CE kind of, okay, FL like that. Okay, when we flip it over. Now what we do, we're going to put a bacteria there. But before that, we need to make a smear, therefore we need to add 1 drop of the liquid. That is 1 drop of just the tap water. Okay. I'll show you how to do it. This needs to be sterilized, a loop. Then, number 4, you're going to add a bacteria. So you're going to add a bacteria there. You're going to make a smear. Make a smear. Of course, you have a 2 bacteria here, so every time you have to be burning the loop. We call it use a Bunsen burner to do the sterilization, which means the other bacteria has to be killed. Otherwise, it's going to cause contamination. So you add a bacteria there. Make a smear. Now, the very important steps is called air dry. Then we need air dry 3 to 5 minutes. If you do not do the air dry, what happens? When you do the observation, you will see there are lots of the legs. Couple of the legs will be showing on the glass slides. So that's going to have to do air dry. Now what we do, the next step is called heat fixing. Heat fixing, usually what we do is back force on Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner. Couple of times. We're gonna have to kill the enzyme or bacteria and sticky to the slides. That's called a heat fixing. Okay, back and forth a couple of times. Of course, you have to use a faucet to hold them. So you cool down a little bit. We're gonna go to a major step. You're gonna add a dye. The dye what you have today, I look at your desk. You can do crystal violet or saffronin. There are some other dyes like malachite green, like a carbon fusion we will do use in the future. So you add a dye there. Then staining 1 minute. Okay, after you stain 1 minute, we'll do the gentle rinse for like 10 seconds. We just rinse it, and then we dry it. And the last step will be dry. Okay, now it's ready to go. So these are slides. Well, we'll do the observation. We were using 10x. We're going to find specimen, and then we're going to move on to 100x with oil immersion, and then you will see is two basic information. Number one, morphology. Number two will be arrangement. And these steps is review what we did on Tuesday about using microscope. And when you go this step, when you see the bacteria already, you could be doing is using your cell phone to take a picture and print it out and put onto your notebook. Okay, so today is like pretty much the simple steps to make a bacterial media. Now I'm going to show you how to make a slides. Okay, so I want everybody go into the front desk. I'll be right here. It's going to be right here. I'm going to show you how to use do the simple stand, and so it'll be just right here. Okay. So the glass slides, we'll be using gloves. Okay. Now I want to show you how to use the Bunsen burner. Okay. So first of all, everything is get ready. When you clean your bench, you're gonna. Does anybody have a large gloves? Yeah. I can borrow. Thank you very much.
We have some here.
Oh, okay, just grab some. Thank you very much. I'll just put some in the back. So I'll just borrow one of the wrap here. Do we have a? Okay, I'll use it. I just give you an example. So you should have this guy in your desk. So we have this. I think this is not really clean. So do we have alcohol on the rim? Do we have alcohol? There is one thing we left. We didn't have it. We need a. Do you have a paper towel? Right here? Okay. Thank you. Usually if you see it's not good, then use alcohol. Okay. I've got to turn on the water a little bit. So I'll just use a paper towel to clean it. If you see it's already being cleaned, then you don't have to do it. Okay, now you're going to draw a circle. So you're going to draw two big circle. I'm going to label them EC and LF. So you can see it looks like this. Okay, then we flip it over. Yeah, just put one of each right here. Yeah. Now we're going to put the bacteria, but before that we're going to put the water. So how we do? The Bunsen burner, I have to turn it on. And we need to use this called a hockey stick. So we turn it on when you hear the voice. That's not good. Do we have another one? We'll
Take something
that's we'll see. Oh no.
Maybe.
Is this not good? Do you have a new possibly? This one is good. This is good. You're gonna help them to switch back or not? Okay. Okay. Let's turn it on. So this could be a do adjustment, large or small, will be just like that. Okay. Be careful, it's dangerous. That's why it used to be, I don't use it. Okay, now this one, make sure it's flat and burn it first. We see the red one, which means it's already being sterilized. And this is dangerous, the one, so have to be avoided. I'll just grab some water. So one drop of the water right here, another drop of the water will be right here. Okay, 2 drops of the water. So I'm going to pick the bacteria, so how we do it, sterilize it again. Okay, a little bit on the top. So you have E. coli, what you do, little finger, take it out, flame, and then you call down on the side and you pick from the smear. Don't block it, okay. Flame at the back. That's where we put out the E. coli. So you make a big smear. That has to be thin, not have to be heavy. Okay, so I have to emphasize this has to be thin, not the heavy one. Don't put too much water. A little bit is good. Then you sterilize it again because you're going to put another bacteria there. Otherwise, will cause cross contamination. So doing this and this one, flame again, cool down, and then you pick the bacteria from the side. Okay. Don't block it. Okay, now this one side here, you're going to be pick the bacteria, so you make the smear. Okay, now we flame it. Okay, so we put it back. Now once this is done, you're going to do the air dry. The air dry is about 3 to 5 minutes. So let's say the air dry is finished. What we do is we're going to do heat fixing, is like this. Back and forth a couple of times. But remember, this is not cooking. Okay, so you're not going to be chatting with your friend. This has to be real quick, a couple of times. Securing the enzyme, let the bacteria stick onto the surface. Okay, now it's ready. So I'm going to, this one pretty much not going to use at all. So I'm going to turn it off. So we're going to go here. Then we're going to do the dye. So we're going to be put right here. Still very hot. Now be careful, at this stage, a very important procedure is you have to wear the goggle. So you have the goggle right in the middle, yeah? Now the goggle, you need to make sure this is a goggle can cover your whole eyes. It's not those sharp, machine sharper using those goggles to protect the dust, okay? This should be whole thing protect your eyes. Let's just do crystal violet. So that's a crystal violet. The staining is very easy. I mean, just to put on the middle. Just make sure, not flooding, okay? We'll tell you flooding later. It's just put on the circle. So you're going to do the stain about a minute. And at this moment, you can do the timer. You can counting the Mississippi, whatever comfortable for you. Approximately 1 minute is good. Then what you do is you're going to have to do the rings. So after, let's say 1 minute is ready, so we're going to do the rings. Just do the rings. Okay, then we go here. Then we cover it. Turn it off the water. That is pretty much ready to go. Okay, so you can see you smear kind of like that. Now, make sure this is the one is biohazard trash. So you're going to go biohazard trash can. And this is, don't need it anymore. Gloves actually don't need it anymore because it's already finished. You can take it out, okay, if you feel uncomfortable. Now we're going to do the observation for you. So I use a microscope, what I did the last time, to show you one more time how to use the microscope. So still the same procedure, plug in, turn on all the way to the and because that's wavelength 650 nanometer. Okay, so I'm gonna be putting this one here, in the glass slides, and then make sure it's move on to the middle. You see it's very bright. I think its iris diagram needs to be a 10 to control the amount of the light. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, it won't be crush it. So you go down, a little bit. Okay, you can see lots of them at 10x. So I just want to have one student come to see it. You will see a lots of that. Can you see that? Can you go ahead to see it? That's a lots of the single dots, but you're not going to see anything. Can you go ahead and see it? That's what the sample you find it. Okay, when you find the sample, we're going to switch to 100x. So one twisted, two twisted. Then we're going to put the one drop of the oil. That oil has to be huge. Now we can do is both. Put one drop one here, one big one here. We'll see what happens. Okay, now go here. So if it's parfocal, okay, that looks fine to me. Then we go here, which means the iris diagram has to be all the way to the top. Now you can see somehow like underneath 100x, you can see it's a single lots, short lots for the equalizer. It depends whether the slants is got contaminated. Sometimes you're not going to see the results. Okay, that looks fine. That looks good. Now let's just do something tricky. We're gonna just move it to here. Okay, because it's called a parfocal. We just move to here. We'll see whether we can find it. Okay. Okay, we still find something, but I don't think it might be not lactobacillus. For me, it looks like a coxswain. You go ahead to see it again. I just simply move to the left side. See, that's a coxswain, but lactobacillus supposed to be is a lodge. So that maybe get contaminated with some looks like the grape shape Staphylococcus aureus. So you can just take a picture and record on your notebook what it is. Then we'll see, because it happens, or sometimes the slants is getting contaminated because the strain is getting old. Okay, so that's a procedure what we have. Now then you took it out, and then you can, don't throw them away, just to clean it. Or you can just keep this one in your box. Okay, then the next one we're gonna do the gram stand, you can have something collected in your own sample. Okay, so that's all we have.